am still in West Sweden's Bohuslän region, tracing the coast to explore the archipelago's quaint towns. Getting better at my newfound calling as a sailor, we ventured further north to reach the town of Smogen. Smogen is an old fishing settlement dating back to the 16th century. Today, it is one of Sweden's popular vacation towns. Visitors and locals frequent its 1-kilometer wooden boardwalk lined with shops and restaurants. It is here that we paid a visit to Lars' friend Erik, who is part of a relatively new but growing industry. Although Sweden has no tradition of whiskey making, Mackmyra prides itself in being the country's oldest whiskey distillery, starting in 1999. Taking advantage of Sweden's pure water sources, filtered since the Ice Age, and using Swedish barley and oak barrels, Erik tells us that they have the perfect ingredients for excellent whiskey.
When you decide to have a barrel,
Yes.
you save it for 3 or 4 or 5 years
So
before
you
you
keep
put
it?
it in a small one. So we store it.
Hidden within these massive outcrops of rock are thousands of barrels of single malt whiskey, put away for clients in their reserve program.
So Erik, you have so many people here who has owned one barrel. I see that the list you have over
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Yeah, we have about 1,000 of them here.
Thousands of them.
As barrel, and this is just one of 6 different places we have those.
Oh, you have it in other places as well.
Yeah. So this is for one where you have your own small 30 liters barrels.
Mackmyra lets their clients follow their personal cask from production to maturation, giving them a chance to taste it every year until they decide to have it bottled. Though a new player in the industry, Swedish whiskey has earned the respect of drinkers all over the world. Well, I didn't realize being a sailor meant learning to drink a lot. It's a good thing we've set our course for our last stop, the fabled island of Fjällbacka. One thing to note about Fjällbacka is that it's full of stories. Murder mysteries at that. Famous Swedish writer Camilla used Fjällbacka as the setting of her crime novels. They have become so popular that the town gets tourists wanting to follow in the trail of the books. But for a real-life fairy tale, nothing is more well-known than Swedish actress Ingrid Bergman's love for Fjällbacka. She called it her paradise on earth, spending most of her summers here. Today, the actress is immortalized in the Ingrid Bergman Square at the center of town. Towering over the town is the Brita, a massive stone cliff with a magnificent feature that Lars wanted me to see. We scaled the rocky cliff face that led to ancient formations. Just as it began to rain, we reached the King's Cleft, where giant boulders are wedged between the rock as ice melted during the Ice Age. It was kind of unnerving to be standing underneath the massive boulders as the rain poured down. I didn't want to be pinned under those. But what a stunning reminder of Sweden's long geologic history. Leaving Fjällbacka behind, we decided to go to one of Sweden's remotest areas, the Weather Islands. To get there, Lars and I decided to leave the boat behind and take the ferry instead. As we went out to the Skagerrak Strait, you will start to feel how isolated this area is, passing only rocky, uninhabited islets. We approached the shore and caught sight of the island's only accommodation option. Well, we finally made it.
This is the Weather Island. It's the windiest and most westerly island of Sweden.
The guest house and nearby buildings used to be the home of marine pilots, stationed here to guide ships in and out of Sweden's harbor. Being isolated, they had to be self-sufficient. It was a good thing the sea provided for them. Lars and I went off to explore the barren, exposed landscape.
So most of the rocks are this type of rocks, huh?
Yes,
Lars?
it's granite.
Mm-hmm.
The whole island is nearly only rocks.
Yes.
The natural harbors attracted merchants and seafarers in the Middle Ages, who made their presence known in the rocks.
Did anybody check what year this compass rose was made?
Yes, I think about the 15th or 16th century. There was seamen here. Maybe they're waiting for the ice should go away, or the wind should change so they could sail away. Waiting, they had nothing to do.
Yes.
And they sit here and knock on the rock. Yes, there's a compass rose.
And what is this writing?
Probably the name, initials
Of the fellow who did
of
it.
the fellow who did it, yes.
Yes.
It was a great day out in this rocky, wind-swept landscape where time seemed to have stood still. Just before I ended my trip, my friends thought I couldn't leave without experiencing yet another favorite Swedish activity. Camilla and husband Kjell brought their kayaks for a nice day out in one of the woodland lakes. Despite the cold, the water did look inviting, as long as I didn't fall in. So Kjell promised me a dry suit in case I did. Camilla is a kayak instructor, but I was no kayak student. Well, there's no way they will let me out of this, so off we went. Camilla was a very patient teacher, and I soon got the hang of it. And they were right. It was a very relaxing activity, until she tried to teach me how to do an Eskimo roll, recovering upright in case you capsize. But no thank you, I'll just try not to capsize at all. It was the perfect end to my trip, and everything wonderful about Sweden is right here. The quietness of nature, a warm campfire, good coffee, food, and friends.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari.